Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about 10 sneaky ways narcissists hide affairs, okay? I may go over 10. I'm not sure. I made this massive list of the ways that narcissists, how they're sneaky and how they hide their affairs. So let me get into it, okay? Number one, the way a narcissist is going to hide their affair is that they're going to give you excuses. And one of those excuses that they love to say is that they're always working. Nobody works more than a narcissist who's having an affair, okay? They're going to say things like, oh, I got to work late again tonight. Or I got to work this weekend. So, I'm not going to be able to see you or do anything. I got to work again this weekend. So narcissists love to use work as an excuse not to see you when they're actually having an affair with another supply. What's another excuse that narcissists use when they're having affairs? If it's not work, what they're going to say is, oh, listen, I got to go help my family out, or I got to help my cousin out. I'm going to help him with his car this weekend, or I'm going to help my family, my mother, she wants to move furniture. They're going to have some big excuse why they can't see you, when in reality, what they're doing is going and seeing their other supply. The other thing, too, that I want you to be aware of is that they're going to use their family and their friends, to cover for them. And they are just as toxic as the narcissist, and you can't trust them. Because a lot of times what narcissists will say is, well, you can go ask my mother, or you could go ask, my friend or something like that. They'll tell you where I'm at and everything. And of course, their friends and their toxic mother is going to lie for them. All right. This happens all the time. And you say to yourself, would a mother really lie, when her son or daughter is doing something like having an affair on you? And the answer to that is yes, they would. Okay. Yes, they would. They would lie for their son or daughter because maybe they don't like you. Maybe they're a covert narcissist who doesn't like you. So they're actually happy when, their child is having an affair on you, okay? That's how sick they are. Maybe they're hoping that you'll break up because they really don't like you, all right? The other thing that narcissists do when they're trying to hide affairs, okay, is they'll send you videos of where they're at to try to fool you. They'll say something like, oh, I'm at this work party and everything. And they send you a video, or a family party, and they send you a video and you see them sitting there, with friends and family and waving at the table and smiling. So you're saying to yourself, oh, look at that. They're just enjoying time, with either their people at work or with their friends and family, wherever the video could be, right? Meanwhile, that video was taken 4 years ago, okay? This is what narcissists do. They actually have videos that they send that they have, to fool you. And you're thinking it's happening that day when it's an old video, and they're just sending that, and you're thinking, well, they must be doing that. They must be at this party or something like that. That couldn't be farther from the truth, all right? They'll do that to try to calm you and not get you to be suspicious, all right? What's another way that narcissists hide affairs? They go to the supplies house. See, a lot of narcissists don't want you coming to their house. They want to come to your house. And why is that? So they don't get caught, all right? They want to go to the other supplies house so that they don't get caught. See, in their house, they got to worry. You're going to ring the doorbell. You're going to show up. But if they go to the other supplies house, a lot of times you don't know who the other supply is. So you're not going to know where they are. And they, of course, are going to gaslight you and say, oh, I was working. And a lot of narcissists, what they love is they love jobs where you can never pin where they're at, okay? They love late night jobs. And they love jobs that give them freedom where they're always on the road, okay? It could be a salesman. It could be somebody who travels all the time, a police officer, a job that has freedom. That's what they love. They love a job that has freedom. So this way, you don't know where they are, and they come back at you and say, oh, I had to, go, or I had work here. It could be a truck driver. It could be, anything, right? Where they work nights or they work where they're not always at one spot. They move around. They have clients. You can never track that. So that's another way that they are able to hide affairs, because you never know where they're at. And they're telling you they're working, they went to see a client or something like that. Meanwhile, they're going to their other supplies house, all right? And they say, oh, they're working, or they're at their friend's house or family, or they're, had to stop and do something for a client, maybe somebody who works in a house or something like that. So that's another way they're able to hide affairs. Now, what's another way that narcissists are able to hide affairs? They mask the other supply's number. Classic. And I've mentioned this numerous times in my reels, okay? What they'll do is they'll put pizzeria, or they'll put laundromat, or they'll put cousin Cindy or cousin Mike or something like that. And you're with them and the phone rings and it let's just say it says cousin whatever, right? They'll say, oh, that's just my cousin again wanting to ask advice. And they send it to forward and you see cousin whatever. You automatically are going to think that they're telling you the truth, that that's their cousin just calling them, right? No, that's their other supply that they just sent to forward, okay? Or what they'll do is they'll say, oh, listen, give me a minute. I just want to, talk to him or her. I'm just going to run outside, have a cigarette. Let me just talk to them real quick. And they go outside and they're talking to the other supply and you don't know it. You think they're talking to like a family member, or it could be mom or aunt, whatever, okay? So that's how they also hide it too. The other thing that I want you guys to be aware of, a lot of times narcissists live off people and they'll tell you that they're living with their aunt or they're living with their cousin or something, and they're not really living with a family member. They're living with another supply, okay? But they'll mask it by pretending that it's family. Another way they hide affairs is that they go to the local store and they call their other supply so that you don't know what they're doing. They're going to either go to the bathroom. I've spoken about that like years ago. I put out that video about how they go to the bathroom. Everybody's talking about it after that, but it's true. They go to the bathroom to text their other supply. If they can, maybe call their other supply quick. And that's how they go in another place in the house. They may go to the basement. They may go to the garage. They may go to the car. These are all ways that narcissists hide the other supply, because they go to another spot to call them, all right? Or if they can't and you're really on them, they'll say, oh, listen, I got to run to the store. I got to pick up cigarettes. I got to pick up milk. They'll say they got to pick up something that you really don't need, right? And then they're gone for like hours. And you're like, where are they? Okay, where are they? And they'll give you some lie about, oh, they saw some friend at the store that they were talking to, or they stopped at their mother's on the way back, or some lie, okay? So that's how they mask being able to contact the other supply and hide the other supply when they're calling. And of course, I've spoken about this numerous times. They'll also flip the phone facing down, okay? Doesn't mean you're a narcissist if you flip your phone down. Just got to put that little caveat here for people that say, I flip my phone down and I'm not a narcissist. We're not talking about you. Are you doing that to be deceitful? Okay, then maybe you are a narcissist. But I'm talking about narcissists who do that to be deceitful, okay? So they love to flip their phone down. Now, another way they hide affairs, and this is classic, is to tell you they may be out and they don't get back to you and they tell you that their phone died. Classic excuse they use. Oh, my phone died, or they tell you, oh, my phone was in the other room, or, oh, I left my phone in the car, okay? But meanwhile, the funniest thing is, whenever you see the narcissist, they always have their phone on them, right? They're never leaving the phone. They always have their phone on them. But when you're trying to call them, all of a sudden they don't have their phone or their phone battery's dying. That's because they're running game on you, okay? They're running game on you. So that's another way that they try to hide their affairs, all right? Now, moving along I talked about how they go to other supplies house and everything. Now, here's another one, all right, that they use. What they'll do, all right, when they want to go see that other supply, if they can't go to that other supplies house, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll go to their friend's house, okay? And they may be really going to their friend's house, But what they're going to do is they're going to have their friend cover for them. They may get on the phone with you and, their friend gets on the phone or something. Hey, how you doing? Blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, you're thinking, oh, everything's cool. They're just at their friend's house or something like that. But what they could be doing is they could be having other supply over there, okay? It's not just them and their friend. It's them, their friend, and whoever else they invite over, okay? Narcissists do this all the time. If they want to go see another supply and they want to be careful that they don't get caught, they'll use their friends as an alibi and say they're at their friend's house. This is what they do. And, they may be having other supply there. Now, the other thing I want to bring up about narcissists hiding affairs, the other way they do it too, you guys, is sometimes the other supply knows about you and doesn't care that they have somebody and they're just having like a little affair on the side. When that happens, that person is also a narcissist because they have no empathy for you. They don't care that it's hurting you, that they're having an affair with the narcissist, because they could be narcissistic as well, and they're thinking about their own selfish needs, all right? In which case, they could be sitting right next to the narcissist, where the narcissist is on the phone with you, and you're thinking the narcissist is alone, and they could have another supply right there listening in on everything. And the two of them could be giggling and laughing about the whole thing, that the fact that they are fooling you. All right. That's how deceptive the narcissist could be. And sometimes how deceptive the supply they go with can be. All right. So that's another way they could hide. It's much easier for them to be able to hide affairs if the other supply knows about you. Okay. And that's why too, a lot of people that are married will tell you that they're separated, but they're in the process of a divorce when they're really not going in a process of a divorce, but they lie to you and tell you that they're separated and they're still living in the house with their soon-to-be, as they say, ex-wife or ex-husband, but they're not getting a divorce. They're just telling you that. And that's another way they're able to hide the affair, because now they know that you have to be respectful in calling. They may tell you something like, oh, my ex-wife just walked into the other room. I got to call you later. I don't want to fight with her. And you're thinking that they're fighting, that they're going through this divorce and everything like that, when in fact, they're not going through a divorce, but the new supply doesn't realize that that's just a married person lying to them. And they have a new supply who's willing to, accept that or call them later because of their circumstances. But what they don't realize is that the circumstance is the fact that they have, they're still married and they're not going through a divorce. That's why you don't mess with that. You don't mess with somebody who's separated. Don't do it. I'm telling you, don't do it. I've had a few clients that have dealt with that and it ended up bad. Don't ever do that, you guys. If they're not divorced, at least, I would say at least 6 months to heal and everything like that, and they don't show you divorce papers, do not touch that with a 10-foot pole, okay? Because they could still be emotionally attached to their exes. And you don't know really if they're getting divorced, okay? They could string you along for years. They could be lying to you, telling you, oh, yeah, we're going to court next week, or, oh, the courts are delaying. We don't go back for another 6 months or something like that. They're lying to you. They are wasting your fucking time. Don't mess with that. Or they're still, like I said, they're still married. And then you could have a married partner who finds out about you and comes after you, all right? Where, you don't know who their partner is. Their partner could be violent, and you could be putting your life in danger if you get involved with something like that. So listen to me when I tell you, do not play with that. Don't deal with anybody unless they're divorced at least 6 months and they show you those, certified divorced papers, okay? Some of them will even fudge papers. Some of them, you guys, listen to me when I tell you. I've seen people on dating apps that actually lie that they're divorced and they have fudged papers showing that they're divorced, okay? Next, all right, moving along on how narcissists hide affairs, all right? Another way they hide affairs is they're always going away. And they tell you they're either going away on business or they want to get away. They need time to themselves, all right? The narcissist is not going by themselves. The narcissist is going to meet somebody or going with somebody wherever they're going. Maybe they're going on a trip to the Caribbean. Maybe they're just going to another city. Or maybe the narcissist has a supply in another city. This is why narcissists love long-distance relationships, okay? It's so easy to be in two relationships when the other person is in another city and you don't have to worry about them ever checking up on you. So, narcissists absolutely love, saying they're going away. Oh, I just need some time to myself. I'm so stressed. The work has me down or something like that. I just need to be by myself. I just need to clear my head. I'm just going to the mountains by myself. Meanwhile, years later, you're going to find out they didn't just go to the mountains by themselves. They were actually bringing other supply to a house in the mountains, okay? That's how shifty narcissists can be, all right? And how they hide affairs. They go places away from where you are and they meet up with these other people, okay? I'm looking at my list here. Oh, another thing that they do, you guys, to hide affairs is they say they have their kids that weekend. When you're dealing with a divorced narcissist, they love to use their kids as an excuse not to see you when they're juggling a lot of supply. So they'll say, listen, I got my kids this weekend, or, oh, listen, me and my ex switched weekends, so I'm going to have my kids again this weekend. But meanwhile, they have another supply that they're seeing, and they're using the kids as an excuse, all right? The other way they hide affairs is by having them early. Everybody knows that they're creatures of the night, but they're also creatures of the early morning, okay? I knew narcissists that did more in the early morning hours than they did at night, okay? So a lot of times when you're sleeping, that's when they're getting it in, all right? They may lie to you and tell you that they're sleeping till 11 o'clock and they just had a supply leave their house, okay? Or they may be going to another supply's house and you're thinking they're still sleeping in the morning, and then they come back and they say, oh, I just woke up, it's 11 o'clock, right? Meanwhile, they just came from another supply's house. Another way they hide affairs is when they go to somebody's house. Let's say they're juggling a lot of supply. Let's say they go to somebody's house or they go out with somebody on a Saturday night. They go out, they have a good time with you, whatever. They give you a kiss. Okay, beautiful. I got to go. I got to get up early tomorrow for church or synagogue or mosque, this and that. They make you think that they're going home and they're going to bed and they're going to another supplies house. And I have a way to bust that cheater, and I've actually used it, but I'm not going to put it in this podcast. I put it in one of my older podcasts, okay? Because I actually went through this, and I busted somebody when they tried to pull that. And if you go back and listen to my old podcast, How to Bust the Cheater, you're going to hear about it, okay? But it was great. But this is what they'll do, you guys. This is how they try to hide affairs and hide things from you. They love to get night shift jobs because you're sleeping. And when you're sleeping, that's when they get their dirty work done. All right. And then the other way they hide affairs is by gaslighting and accusing you of cheating. So now you're all confused because all of a sudden the narcissist is accusing you of cheating. Oh, I bet you're cheating on me. Oh, who's there? This is what a narcissist loves to do. And I did a reel on this where they talk about, is somebody there? I hear noise in the background. You got another guy there, or you got another girl there. They accuse you of cheating because that's what they're doing, all right? And they can't believe that you're not. And also, they want to deflect the shame off them, put it on you, make themselves think that you're nasty and that you're cheating so that they feel better about doing their dirty deeds, okay? Meanwhile, you haven't done anything and you're getting accused of cheating, and you've got this dirty narcissist that's cheating on you, and on top of it, they got the nerve to accuse you of cheating. So if they start accusing you of cheating, you can trust and believe that they are cheating on you 99% of the time. All right. All right. So those are pretty much the ways narcissists hide affairs, you guys. And, I'm sure there's a lot of other different ways they hide affairs. If you could think about it, put it in the comments, make people aware. The more awareness, the more you bust the narcissist and break their game, okay? So that they can't hurt other people. Don't be a victim don't trust too soon, all right? Don't trust too soon. This is what the problem that people do. They trust everything that comes out of somebody's mouth, all right? You don't know this person unless you've known them for years. And even then, some narcissists are really good at hiding things. So you've got to move slowly with the narcissist and be careful, because some narcissists are really, they want you to believe them. They want you to trust them. And the more you trust them, the more they're able to get away with their dirty deeds. Okay? So I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askgaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. I have limited space, especially now, because I'm working on this other project. YouTube is the Game Exposed podcast. My Facebook, I got a new page. It's facebook.com/thegameexp777. Instagram is the Game EXP123. And TikTok, you guys, is the Game Exposed. And I am tired. I have been up all night, and have a great day.